What are the odds of surviving a plane crash, a shipwreck, and an earthquake? This man did all three, and nobody believed him. His name is not important. What matters is what happened to him. 3 times. Death looked him in the eyes. 3 times. He looked back and said no. It started on a normal Tuesday morning. Flight 447 took off under clear blue skies. 283 passengers, 12 crew members, and one man who had no idea his life was about to change forever. 30 minutes into the flight, the storm hit. Not a normal storm. The kind of storm that makes pilots go silent. The kind that makes passengers stop breathing. Oxygen masks dropped. Luggage flew across the cabin. People screamed things they had never said out loud before. Then the engine caught fire. The pilot tried everything, but the jungle below had already made its decision. The impact lasted 4 seconds. Those 4 seconds felt like a lifetime. When he opened his eyes, he was alone. 294 people on that plane. He was the only one who walked away. For 3 days he survived in that jungle. No food, no water, no hope. Just the will to live that refused to let go. When the rescue helicopter found him, the pilot said he had never seen anything like it. A man, alive, after all of that. The doctors called it a miracle. He called it a second chance. But life had not finished testing him yet. 2 years later, he boarded a cruise ship. He needed peace. He needed the ocean. He needed to forget. For 3 days, the sea was calm and beautiful. On the 4th night, the storm came again, as if the universe had unfinished business with this man. Waves the size of buildings crashed over the deck. The ship tilted 45 degrees. People fell into the black ocean like raindrops. And then, the ship was gone. He floated alone on a piece of broken wood, in the middle of the ocean, at midnight. For 11 hours, he held on. When the Coast Guard finally pulled him from the water, the officer looked at his file and said, "Wait, you are the plane crash guy?" Yes, the same man. The plane crash guy was now the shipwreck guy too. The doctors ran every test imaginable. His heart was normal. His brain was normal. Everything was normal, except his luck, which was anything but normal. The world called him the luckiest man alive. He called himself the most tired man alive. He just wanted one normal day. One day without disaster. One day where nothing tried to kill him. He moved to a quiet city far from oceans and airports. A simple apartment. A simple life. No planes. No ships. No storms. For 5 years, nothing happened. He started to believe it was over. He started to breathe again. He started to smile again. Then, on a Wednesday morning in March, the ground started shaking. At first it was gentle, like a truck passing outside. Then the walls cracked. Then the ceiling fell. Then everything went dark. Rescue teams searched for 38 hours. 38 hours under concrete and darkness, with nothing but the sound of his own heartbeat to keep him company. When they finally pulled him out alive, the rescue worker looked at his face and said, "I know you. You are the man who survived the plane crash and the shipwreck." He looked up from the stretcher, covered in dust and blood, and smiled. He said, "Yeah, that's me." The crowd that had gathered to watch the rescue went completely silent. Then someone started clapping. Then everyone was clapping. Then everyone was crying. Because in that moment, everybody understood something. This was not about luck. This was not about statistics. This was about a man who refused, absolutely refused, to give up. When a journalist asked him later, "What is your secret?" he said something that stopped everyone in the room. He said, "I never said goodbye. Not on the plane, not in the ocean, not under the rubble. Because the moment you say goodbye, it's over. So I just never said it." Today he lives a quiet life. He has grandchildren now. He tells them stories at night, not about plane crashes or shipwrecks or earthquakes. He tells them about the sunrise he saw from the jungle, the stars he counted floating on the ocean, the sound of his rescuers' voices coming through the darkness. He says those were the most beautiful moments of his life, because in those moments, he truly understood what it meant to be alive. If this story moved you, leave a comment below. And remember, whatever you are going through right now, never say goodbye. Subscribe for more stories that will change the way you see the world. But here is what the scientists never told you. The probability of surviving one plane crash is 1 in 11 million. The probability of surviving one shipwreck is 1 in 8 million. The probability of surviving one earthquake of that magnitude is 1 in 5 million. The probability of surviving all three? There is no number for that. Mathematicians refuse to calculate it, because some things exist beyond numbers, beyond logic, beyond science. One professor who studied his case for 3 years said something that nobody forgot. He said, "Either this man has the most extraordinary biology on Earth, or the universe is trying to tell him something. And maybe, just maybe, it is trying to tell us something too, that life is not measured in the years you live. It is measured in the moments you refuse to surrender. Every single one of us will face our own plane crash, our own shipwreck, our own earthquake. Maybe not literally, but we will all face that moment when everything falls apart, when the ground beneath us disappears, when the darkness feels permanent. And in that moment, remember this man. Remember that 38 hours under concrete. He never said goodbye. Remember that 11 hours alone in the ocean. He never let go. Remember that 3 days lost in the jungle. He kept walking. Because giving up was never an option, and it should never be yours either.